broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. And you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh, mountain, we gon' walk it out. And ooh, mountain. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Ooh, mountains, bring it to its feet. Ooh, mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. That we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise.
Hey, DLHS class of 2020, just wanted to take a minute to wish you all the best as you move forward past your high school years. It's been great having you around. The impact that you had on DLHS and the time that you were here is immeasurable. Best of luck in the future.
Hey, Laker class of 2020, congratulations on graduating. You guys are such a special class. I know us teachers say that every year, but for me personally, I have a lot of fond memories of you, and we will certainly miss you, but we love you, and we can't wait to see you go out and conquer this world. Go Lakers!
Congratulations, class of 2020. Good for you! Woohoo! I'm so excited for you. I know that these last few months weren't the ending to your high school career that you had planned on, but you know what? It's okay. You are going to persevere through this, and your generation is going to be stronger because of it. We will miss seeing you all walk the halls, and I certainly will miss seeing you come shopping in the Laker shop. So congratulations. Get out there and change the world. I look forward to seeing it.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. This is Sean Ford Milligan from Detroit Lakes High School. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you'll ever know.
Hello, seniors. Just wanted to send you a quick message telling you how very proud I am of everything that you've accomplished over the last 13 years, but certainly over the last couple of months. By far, you will be one of the most remembered graduating classes of Detroit Lakes High School. You've made it. Congratulations, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Congratulations, DLHS class of 2020 from Mr. Vagwe. A special shout out to those seniors that are involved with physics, college physics, softball, and basketball. Good luck to all of you, and keep in touch.
Hola, DLHS Laker class of 2020, Mrs. Hare here. Well, you're officially Laker alum. Welcome to the club. congrats and best wishes always. During this time of COVID-19 and isolation, I like to think of the words to a song by Fleetwood Mac. It goes like this: don't stop thinking about tomorrow. It will be better than before. Yesterday's gone. Hey y'all, your tomorrow is bright. Peace out.
Attention, we have a very special announcement for our seniors. Grad Bash 2020 will take place on August 1st. Be on the lookout for more details.
remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ben and Macy. I wanted to note that the flowers on the stage today are in honor of those DLHS students who couldn't join us today. We're not going to use this one. At this time, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Grant Gallatin. Grant is the son of Peter and Jelaine Gallatin. He has one sibling, Ben. Grant has participated in track, swimming, cross country, and also was a captain for cross country. He did dodgeball, link crew, key club, jazz band, and Laker singers. One of his proudest achievements was being recognized as the AAA award for our school, which is the student who excelled in classroom, athletics, and fine arts. Grant will be attending the Naval School of Music to play in the Marine Band, and he is one of our top students. Grant Gallatin, everybody.
Welcome, everyone here, to the very historic commencement ceremony for the Detroit Lakes High School graduating class of 2020. Before I begin my speech, we need to take a moment of silence to honor Clayton Larkey, a fellow senior, Laker, and dear friend who passed away this past winter. Thank you. Puzzles are fun. Whether it be a 16-piece puzzle it took you 10 minutes to finish, or a 750-piece puzzle that it took your family 4 afternoons to complete, there's something intriguing with the challenge of finishing a puzzle. When most people start, they find the 4 corner pieces and work around the edges. But there's something that everyone does before that. They look at the picture. See, that's the hard thing about life. You're given all of the pieces and you don't get to see the big picture. To many of us, that's scary. We don't know where we're going to be in the future, and we're not sure how we're going to get there the most efficiently. But see, this can also be the greatest thing about life, because we get to choose the end goal. We get to choose the picture that we work towards. Think about where you want to be in 10 years. What job do you want to have? Where do you want to live? What further education do you want? See, this is our end goal, and when we think backwards like this, we can achieve anything we'd want. Now, pause. I'm not going to stand up here and give a speech about saying that, oh, we can be anything we want to be, without saying it's not going to be hard, because it is. Life's going to get challenging real quick. But with two things, we can make it a lot easier: discipline and resilience. My favorite way of thinking about discipline is how Abraham Lincoln put it. Discipline is knowing the difference between what you want now and what you want most. At a sports practice, you could be 2-3 hours in, and you might want to stop. But what do you want more? Do you want to win your next game? Do you want to go to state? That's a decision you have to make. Other times, practicing discipline can be easier. Do you want to start eating healthier? Or do you want to reach your body's daily need of sugar by 10 a.m. by going through our breakfast cart line? Other times, it's harder as well. Do you want to go out with your friends for the night and make memories that will last a lifetime? Or do you want to stay in and study and maybe get an A instead of a C? This is a choice that many of us had to make over the past 4 years. But with a strong discipline, you're able to mold yourself into who you want to be. You can take those pieces of studying. You can take those pieces of working maybe an hour harder than others. And you can take those pieces of maybe not eating a blueberry muffin every day. And you can make a picture of who you truly want to be. Resilience, on the other hand, is a little different. Now, a resilient object is an object that can hold its shape while being applied to stress. And yes, I looked that up on Google and did not actually take physics. Sorry, Mr. Vogley. Stress and taking risks in our life is good. You need to go out on a limb sometime and apply for that job that you don't feel 100% qualified for. Sometimes you need to take the risk and join that class or that club that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you need to take the risk and write a song about division and sing it one too many times. None of you can tell me you're going to forget how to spell division, though. I digress. A good way of thinking about resilience is how Martin Luther King Jr. put it. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. And if you can no longer walk, you need to keep crawling. See, the fact of the matter, Lakers, is we need to keep moving. Yes, like I said, life will get hard. And we're going to get cut. And we're going to get bruised. And we're going to get hurt. But we can't stop moving. And we need to get up that mountain of life. Because you know what's at the summit? Exactly who you want to be. We can get there. I will stand up here and tell you, you can be whoever you want to be. And yes, it will be hard, but Lakers, we can get there. We can make it. I'll leave you with this. When you've put all the pieces together and you've put in the work, and that picture will be who you want to be, and that picture will allow you to accomplish any goal you want. But in the end of the day, find joy in the journey, find satisfaction in the struggle. Because, my friends, puzzles are fun. Thank you and enjoy the rest of graduation.
Great job, Grant. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Doug Frobe, Superintendent of Detroit Lakes Public Schools. Mr. Frobe.
Well, that clearly is a hard act to follow. And You know, I was sitting there thinking about some of the things that Grant just said, and as we sat the last 4 months talking, looking with our families and doing different things, so we watched a movie, many movies, right? You all did too. The Fault of My Stars, and I think Grant's highlight there's a statement in that movie that highlights what Grant just said, and that basically is that in order to get to the rainbow, you got to go through the rainstorm. And that, I never thought of it that way, and that's so true, and we all are going to go through a lot of storms, and you are going to get to the rainbow. So good luck with that. What I'll tell you about today's speech is that back in 2007, you started your educational journey here in Detroit Lakes. And one of the neat things about that is so did I. Today, in the summer of 2020, you complete that educational journey here with the Detroit Lakes School, and so do I. I think we had a pretty good 13-year run, didn't we? Huh? I enjoyed you guys a lot. So what did we experience in that 13 years? In our second year here, we experienced, now hang on to this one, we experienced the H1N1 swine flu pandemic. I don't know if we probably remember that. Maybe some of you did. How ironic is that? In our fifth year, or 2012, Facebook became a publicly traded entity on the New York Stock Exchange. But in May of 2013, or our sixth year, you were in fifth grade, America watched the final episode of The Office. I've gotten a kick out of you guys and listening to you talk about the fact that how you watch Netflix and you watch Friends, who ended in 2004. They ended their great run. And like I said, in May of 2013, the final episode of The Office, and you still watch those shows. For those of you who didn't watch The Office, the show which had a run of about 10 years, this was a show about a film documentary about employees in a dysfunctional paper company lovingly known as the famed Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. I think the reruns of The Office are probably more popular now than when the series was in production. Television finales have always had an emotional tug for me because it signifies the end of work that many people put together, combine their passions into making a television show successful. Kind of like spending 13 years together on a combined project of becoming a graduate of Detroit Lakes High School. So with that said, as one of the last lines of the finale of The Office, that strange character, Andy Bernard, who at one time during the show was the office supervisor, said, "I wish there was a way to know when you were in the good old days before you actually left them." To the class of 2020 and the 130th graduating class of Detroit Lakes Schools, while you are leaving one phase of the good old days and have completed one life project, you are now entering the new version of the good old days. Keep that in mind as you move forward with your Lakers sail, full of wisdom, skill, and the grit to take on life in this new normal. Congratulations, and thanks for letting me be a part of your good old days.
Thank you, Mr. Froke. At this time, I'd like to introduce the chairperson of the Detroit Lakes School Board, Ms. Amy Erickson.
Hi, I'm a little bit shorter than everybody else. All right. Students, parents, staff, fellow board members, I'd like to start by thanking you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all here today. My name, as they said, is Amy Erickson, and I'm the current chair of the Detroit Lakes School Board. On behalf of myself and the rest of the board, Jane Foltz, April Thomas, John Steffel, Jennifer Peterson, and Kylie Johnson, I'd like to say thank you for being here today. Thank you for putting in the hard work it took to get here, and congratulations on all of your many accomplishments. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, or rather eyeballs. A couple of you I love like you're my own, and just so you know, I couldn't be more proud of you. We are living in an age of unprecedented acceleration. Our world is changing at an unfathomable pace. I myself went from playing Oregon Trail on an Apple II in middle school to using an iPhone in what seems like the blink of an eye. Honestly, you guys, MySpace came and went before I even knew it existed. But those advancements moved like glaciers compared to what's been happening since you started school in 2007. And while these rapid changes in technology may be hard for someone like me to keep up with, you guys are the generation of acceleration. These new constant innovations are your normal, and you adapt to change at a pace that makes my head spin. You are connected to the entire world in a way that I could not have dreamt of 30 years ago when I was sitting where you're sitting right now. And the only thing that I know with absolute certainty is that you are up to the task of this adaptation because you've been doing it for your entire lives. The main message that I would like to impart to you today is that innovation and adaptation aside, the only person who will determine the path that your life will take is you. That may seem a little intimidating right now as you're just starting this new phase of your life, but it's the truest thing you'll ever hear. The reason that it all comes down to you is that no matter the challenges you face, the only person who can determine how those challenges will affect you is you. Maybe up until this point in your life, you haven't faced any challenges that at first glance seem to be insurmountable, but you will eventually. And how you react to those challenges will determine who you are. Sometimes you may falter or even fail, but in the end, all that will matter is what you're able to learn from those stumbling blocks. A failure that you learn from is not actually a failure. It's an experience. And my greatest wish for all of you is to go out into this world and embrace those challenges and experiences. Don't be afraid to try, and don't give up before you start. Cut yourself a little slack when you need to, but you also must hold yourself accountable. You're the captain of your own ship or pontoon or whatever you want it to be. I'd also like to pass something along to you that my mom taught me. Always keep your eyes open for the opportunity to do something good for someone else, no matter how small, and with no promise of reward. You don't have to go out and save the world to make a difference, but be on the constant lookout for small ways in which you can be a helper. Make it a point in your life to lift others up, and you'll be surprised at how far it lifts you. Every generation despairs to some degree at the future of the next. You know, the whole kids these days thing. But just the other day, I happened to meet a kid named Hayden Mastrud, who is graduating here today, and who reminded me, just by being friendly and kind, that kids today are actually pretty darn great. Stay safe, you guys. Enjoy your very unique graduation day. And once again, on behalf of the Detroit Lakes School Board, congratulations on being the newest Laker alumni.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson. Also on the stage assisting with graduation today is Mr. Peter Lundeen, Area Learning Center Principal. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Our next speaker is Micah Solberg. Micah is the son of Brad and Danielle Solberg. He has 3 siblings, his brother Christian and sisters Brielle and Ruthie. He has participated in football, track, the musical, Link Crew, Student Council, PAY, Interact, Key Club, and multiple intramural sports. Micah's proudest accomplishment was moving to Detroit Lakes while in high school than being able to find lifelong friends. He's also one of our top students. Michael will be attending Concordia College in Moorhead and plans to play football there as well. So he asked me to do this. So please welcome, finishing his 8th season as a Laker at 6 feet 1 inch, 180 pounds, defensive back, Micah Solberg!
Hello everyone. Many of you may have seen me hug that woman over there, and that's my mom. She's a beautiful and wonderful lady, and I was actually planning on getting up here and looking right at the camera and saying, "Hi, Mom," but she surprised me being here, and I want to say, "Hi, Mom." Alexander Graham Bell famously said, "When one door closes, another opens." But many people do not know that there's a second part that follows. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which is open for us. All of us can look back right now at what we have missed out on: sports, prom, a real graduation, and memories that we would have shared together as a class. Although it may be easy to look at today negatively, these circumstances do not diminish our accomplishments. I've attended Detroit Lakes High School for 2 years, and I never imagined that I would have the blessing of being up here and speaking to you. During these past 2 years, I learned many things, not only about the school, but also the people in it. Teachers and coaches have given me knowledge on a multitude of subjects and techniques that have made me a better student and athlete. But they have also given me tools to use in life. Now, I know some of you may have not listened to your teachers, and many of you didn't have coaches. So I'm going to tell you some of the things I learned. First, be diligent. Everywhere you go and in everything you do, be diligent. Work hard in everything you do. Whether you're going to college, entering the workforce, serving your country, or sitting in your parents' basement, give it everything you got. Set goals to achieve greatness. We all want to be extraordinary people, but to do so, we must go beyond the ordinary and give a little extra. The second is this: slow down. Now, I know that this may sound like it conflicts with be diligent, but hear me out. Don't try to grow up too fast. We are all moving on in life, but that doesn't mean we should race through it. I'm not telling you to become lazy. I'm saying be grateful for the time you have. None of us expected some Monday in March to be our last day in school. You never know when things in life will be lost, whether it be money, a relationship, or even a loved one. Lastly, I tell you this: smile. Smiling is contagious, and it has been proven that smiling makes you feel physically better. Be the reason someone smiles. I have made it my goal to make at least one person every day smile, because then I know that that person, for at least 1 second, felt true happiness. We should all strive to be the cause of someone's smile each day. Now, I know many of us, including myself, will miss that old building with that special red brick beauty. And although our high school isn't as fancy as the one that's 30 minutes southeast of us, we can all be grateful that it doesn't smell like dog food. When I look at that school, my head is flooded with memories and stories. In that parking lot, I watched at least 10 fender benders, half of which Martin Mai was involved in. And after a dusting of snow, the ability to park was completely lost, and we ended up with 3 rows. Or even the seniors of 2019 who didn't really know the difference between a parking violation and a good joke. The pep rallies were the highlights for some of us, and for others, it felt like Danny Heikes was on top of you while Gabe Hannanen and Reed Mace drug you across the gym floor on your face. Josie, if you are watching this, I want you to know all 3 of them are very, very sorry. The Friday night lights with the greatest student section right over there, the late nights with teammates and friends, the tests that you forgot to study for, the good deeds you provided to others, the longest and coldest walks in and out of school in the winter, and the confiscation of hats by Mr. Wolf and Mr. Messer. All of the drama, the senior pranks, and much more. I'd like to thank my family, friends, teachers, and coaches for the love and support they've given me through the years. And the other thing too, my sister asked me to do this, but I want to say hi Ruth, hi Brielle, hi Christian. I want you to know I'm having fun. I would not be the person I am today without the everlasting memories and knowledge I have gained from my time here at DLHS. Each one of us will carry stories with us for the rest of our lives. We all imagine this day to be different, but we should not look back at this day, at this closed door, with disappointment or regret. Search for the open door, the new opportunities, the new adventures, even if it is unexpected. Thank you.
Great job, Christian. Excuse me, Micah. So you said Christian as you were walking down, and it made me think of him. If you will direct yourself to the screen, we've got a video that was put together by one of your classmates, Miss Taylor Tucker.
I still find Wiley's house riding on my bike with eyes closed. I could name every girl that he took out. From my memory dial his house phone. Can you take me back when we were just kids? Weren't scared of getting older, yeah. 'Cause no one knows you like they know you, but no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones. Truth is nothing like old friends. 'Cause you can't make old friends. Yeah. I can still feel the windows down. Listen to Jimmy Eat World riding through white on Blake's Mississippi. Yeah. My God, it's been 10 years now. I would have his back tomorrow, and he'd still fight anyone who tried to touch me. Can you take me back when we were just kids? We weren't scared of getting older. No one knows you like they know you. No one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones. The truth is nothing like old friends. You can't make old friends. I've got some good friends now, but I've never seen their parents back home. It wouldn't change how things turned out, but there's no one in this time zone those wooden line skates that I wore. Can you take me back when we were just kids? We weren't scared of getting older. No one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but the truth is that we grow up, then wish we could go back then. There's nothing like old friends. You can't make old friends.
Thanks again, Taylor. By the way, all the pictures that are taken today, all the video will be available on our school website probably Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week. The graduating class of 2020 has asked Mr. Mike Levine to be their faculty speaker this afternoon. Mr. Levine has worked for the DL School District for 32 years. He's been a teacher and coach at the high school and at the middle school at the high school for the last 14 years. He taught mathematics and recently moved to teach in our 9th grade academy, teaching our seminar class. He's earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics from the University of North Dakota, and yes, I said that out loud, and a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from Hamline University. He's married to Brenda. They have 3 children that all graduated from DLHS, Danny, Stephen, and Brady. When I asked him what his proudest accomplishment was, he says when a student he had walks up to him and tells him how much what he did helped them, that's what he's the most proud of. It's also a connection to why he loves doing what he does. He just loves working with all of you. So let's give him a warm welcome, this year's faculty speaker, Mr. Mike Levine.
All right, my first question is for the staff. You ever had that lesson where you just knew it was going to be awesome? You had practice, it was going to be perfect, and then 30 seconds in, you have no idea where this is going? That's today. Distinguished guests, class of 2020. When I first took this opportunity to speak, I thought, well, first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to apologize to all your parents, grandparents, family, and friends, because I really didn't want to talk to them. I really wanted to talk to you. Well, that worked out all right. So when I started writing this speech, I thought, what am I going to talk about? So I thought, well, if I were you and you were me, and you were standing, I was sitting, you were teaching, I was learning, what would you talk about? And so I thought, well, not me not being one to ever pass up an opportunity to A, tell a story, and B, have a teachable moment, that's what you're getting. Okay? What can I say? I'm a helper. That's what I do. So today you're getting 5 takeaways Levine has had from 33 years of teaching. 5 things that come to my mind when I think, what did I learn hanging out in school for all this time? Number 1, and I promise Grant stole this from me, have a goal. Have a plan. Okay? In 9th grade seminar, we call it begin with the end in mind. If you know where you're trying to get to, then everything you do is building and leading you in that direction. Doesn't matter to me, are you going to a 4-year school? Are you going to a 2-year school? you're going into the military, or you're going right into the workforce. Have a goal, have a plan. This class can do amazing things. I have big dreams for you guys. I don't know if you remember this. You are my last Advanced Algebra 2 class. And the funny thing was, on day number 1, this group walked into class, and they looked at me and they said, we're all getting A's. And then they proceeded to go to work together, to help each other out, and they darn near made that happen. Now, to paraphrase Michelangelo, here's my wish for you. I won't have a problem if you aim high and miss, but I'm going to have a real issue if you aim low and hit. Number 2 from Mr. Levine, hard work works. There's a video that I show every year in freshman seminar with Denzel Washington. And the point of that video is hard work works. I watch every day, 33 years now, as students try to figure out, how do I get an A without studying? How do I get stronger without ever going in the weight room? How do I pass that darn class without doing any of the homework? The problem is there isn't that magic pill. Hard work works. Now I'm hoping as you walked into Moberg Field today, you saw that banner of Adam Thielen out there. We're very lucky here in Detroit Lakes. We have that daily, constant reminder that sometimes you aren't the most talented. Sometimes not everybody's going to give you a chance. But hard work works. Now, to me, I'm going to go back again. I want you to think about this. Are you going to become a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a welder, a plumber, the checkout? Whatever it is, do the absolute best you can. You hear me clucking, big chicken? All right. Now, number 3, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, don't look at me with that tone of voice. I got a plan here. Now, in this world of right versus left, black versus white, Trump versus Biden, shelter in place versus you're killing the economy, people seem to have stopped listening. Because if that person doesn't believe what I believe, they're wrong. If that person is voting for the other party, they're a mean, awful, horrible, nasty person. So we've stopped listening and started to already figure out, what am I going to say to prove that I'm right and you're wrong? So I'm asking you right now, as you enter this world of adulting, seek first to understand. Listen to what other people have to say. Then if you still disagree, that's okay. But understand where they're coming from, understand their point of view, and then make your decision from there. Number 4. By the way, where's Hannon? There's going to be a test on this later, so I hope you're taking notes. All right, perfect. All right, number 4. I want you to have an attitude of gratitude. I want you to think about this. How many people have helped you to get here? You didn't make it by yourself. Parents, grandparents, teachers, counselors, administrators, paras, custodians, cooks, doctors, nurses, counselors. Who has all helped you to get here? Who helped you get to this day? Now, there's so many people that went out of the way to make this happen, but my real question is, and this is a rhetorical question, you don't have to answer out loud. When's the last time you stopped and said thank you? When's the last time you went up to one of those people and said, thank you for what you've done? I couldn't have made it without you. The story I'm going to tell you right now actually took place right here. Actually, right there. As many of you know, I coached girls track here for a long, long time. And when I was coaching, I had a philosophy that if you want to put in extra work, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to ask you, but if you ask me, the answer would always be yes. So one Saturday afternoon, I got a call from a young lady named Beth. And Beth said, hey, Mr. Levine, what are you doing? So would you like to help me with some pole vaulting this afternoon? I said, we can do that. What time would you like to meet? And she said, I have a family gathering at 3 o'clock that I have to be at or I'm going to get in trouble. Can we go at 1 o'clock? So we met out here at 1 o'clock and we were right back there and we were pole vaulting. And all of a sudden Beth looked at her phone and it was 10 to 3. Now she was one of those people that was just one more, let me try just one more, I know I can get it, let me try one more time. And all of a sudden in a panic she said, I got to get home. And I said, Beth, go. I'll clean up the stuff, get to your family reunion, don't get in trouble. So she hopped in her car right over there and I watched her drive away. And I was putting things away. And all of a sudden, just shortly after 3 o'clock, I saw Beth driving back. And I went, she must have forgot something. So I'm kind of looking around, and she ran through the gate, and she's running out the pole vault pits. And I said, Beth, did you forget something? And she said, yeah, I did. I'm looking around, and she got up to me, and she said, I forgot to say thank you. And I stopped, and I looked at her, and she said, you just gave me 2 hours of your time to help me get better, and I didn't say thank you. And she said, and that's not okay. Now, it's not a big surprise to me that Beth has gone on to be quite a successful young lady. Number 5, and I promise this is the last one, never stop learning. As we come to the end of this very unusual school year, it'd be very easy for many of you to say, I'm out, I'm done, I quit. But I'm asking you, never stop learning. I challenge you to never stop learning. Now, as many of you know, I'm older than average. I've been teaching for a really long time. And I'm kind of set in my ways, and I know what I like and I know what I believe. Now, this school year, a 15-year-old young lady wandered into my classroom named Alex. Now, Alex didn't like school. In fact, if Mr. Metz was here, I think he would confirm, she didn't really see the point in coming to school. And you're thinking, so why in the world would you talk about somebody like that in a graduation speech? Well, over the course of the year during seminar class, intervention, and trust me, she was assigned to intervention a lot. I got to know this young lady pretty well. And we talked and we communicated. And what I found out is that lady taught me so much about social injustice, politics, religion, inequalities in education. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is you don't ever know where the learning's going to come from. So you have to listen. Now, Mr. Omang is sitting back there. Believe it or not, I had Mr. Omang in 7th grade math. And he was actually a pretty good math student. But in a particular meeting that I was sitting in, Mr. Omang's comment was, we sometimes think that we're the smartest person in the room. And we don't listen to what other people have to say. Not a good plan. So please, never stop learning. Just over a day ago, Friday afternoon, my dad passed away after a 3-year battle with cancer. And my dad was a 60-year farmer, but he was a teacher. And over the past few months, as we were taking turns and just sitting by his side and visiting with him, he never missed an opportunity to teach. Not too long ago, I was up at the farm and I was sitting next to him and we were visiting about the events going on in the world right now. And my dad looked at me and he said, if everyone would just treat others right. Not just the ones that look like us, not just the ones that believe that what we believe. Just treat everyone the right way. Smart man. So in closing, what I'm asking you to do is never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. Lastly, I would like to read you a quote from Barack Obama. At a recent commencement speech, Barack Obama said, if this world is going to get better, it's going to be up to you. With everything suddenly feeling it's up for grabs, this is your time to seize the initiative. Nobody can tell you anymore that you need to be waiting your turn. Nobody can tell you anymore that this is how it's always been done. More than ever, this is your moment. Congratulations, class of 2020. This is your generation's world to shape. Now go out there and kick some butt and take names later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Our music department has had some significant impact by all of this COVID stuff. And so they've had to adjust how they play and rehearse. So right now at this time, the senior band members are going to join Mr. Seward in the song Laker Victory. thought you needed to hear that one last time. Our final student speaker today is Danny Hikus. He is the child of David and Natalia Hikus, and he is a brother, Artum. Danny has been involved in student council, football, track, National Honor Society, musical, Link Crew, Lakers Singers, Target, Interact, and Key Club. Danny's proudest accomplishment was landing the funniest character in the fall musical, City Spaghetti, I think was the name, right? Danny plans to attend the University of Minnesota Twin Cities to study environmental engineering. A couple of other important pieces of information that he wanted me to share with all of you is that he very much dislikes Dolly Parton, and he can squat more than Brock Harrier. He is also one of our top students, Danny Hikus.
I love you, Daniel!
I'd like to say welcome and congratulations to the class of 2020. I know the circumstances are a tad odd, but we're still gathering today to honor our achievements. I'd like to say thank you to friends and family for their endless love and support over the years. That love and support was what helped me and so many of you get through tough losses at the end of a season. Next, I'd like to thank teachers for all of your guidance. For example, his critiques that Mrs. Burnside gave helped me make a speech that was profanity-free, unlike in my public speaking class. And last, I'd like to thank all the staff and administration at DLHS for providing such a positive environment for us to learn in. Now, before I talk to you guys about the future, I'm gonna sail back to the past with you. Get it? Okay. We came to high school as kings of middle school, but we've grown in so many ways through our sports, activities, classes, and even through each other. And now we have to apply what we learned into our future as we address future problems. So, how exactly have we been shaped these past 4 years? I don't know about you, but I can remember how excited I was to go to the high school for the first time. We could wear backpacks, and we didn't have trapper keepers anymore. We could pick our own classes, and the senior girls were pretty cute. Although, once we walked into orientation, I felt like a small freshman, and I got very scared with Mr. Levine screaming at us and music blaring. All the typical high school stereotypes filled my head, and I remember teachers at the middle school would tell us how the high school would just eat us up. Eventually, though, we all settled in, and this became our home. It wasn't quiet, though. Whether you did sports, activities, or excelled in your classes, we were so present in the high school, and it shows through all of us. And even if it was through things like the variety show or Survivor, this still shows just how involved we were. I mean, who can forget when Grant reintroduced Division Song to us, or when Micah sang last year at the variety show and stole the heart of every single girl watching. We've had a lot of fun in the past 4 years. All the laughs, the games of musical chairs with 0 injuries, and the day-to-day moments will stick with me. And these moments give us the kind of foundation we need for a good future. But we aren't in high school anymore, and there are a lot of issues coming to light. Now, most of the problems that we've faced with so far have been fairly small, whether it was making varsity or getting a day for prom. These new issues need a generation like us to help solve them. Now, let's take 2020 for example. We had the coronavirus, which knocked us all on our feet. We had to go from our normal day-to-day routines to being quarantined, businesses shutting down, and not seeing each other. And not only is that still affecting us now, today, like our parents can't even come watch our own graduation in the stands, but it's still affecting us nationally and globally. There's already over 120,000 deaths in the US alone, and that number rises every day. This is a problem that we can't ignore. We also have environmental issues facing our planet, whether it's climate change, pollution, or even species dying off. And if anyone's watched news at all in the past month, you can see the kind of social unrest we have in our country. We have problems like police brutality, racial inequality, and regardless of where you stand on this, You can see a division in our country we haven't seen in a long time. Now, we're just starting our journey into the real world, and you might think, what gives? All these problems have just been shoved to us. Well, we should be the generation to help solve them. We should lead the change. And I have 4 reasons why we're the class to do this. Number 1, we're strong and resilient. We've grown up through many hard times, including the Great Recession and global struggles that we've had in the Middle East. And not to mention the same at home. We've had to have the pressure of maintaining relationships, getting good grades, and setting up for a future all at the same time. Those kind of trials are going to help us be strong enough for the road ahead. Second, we're adaptable, and the coronavirus has tested this ability alone. Like I said before, in the snap of an instant, we went from day-to-day routines and seeing each other to having school online and being forced to stay in our homes. And even before this happened, I know every single one of you can name a moment where something was not set in stone and you had to change in some way or another. We have to continue to change and adapt for the road ahead. Number 3, we're unified. We stand for a common cause. We aren't afraid to stand for each other side by side. An example I like to think of this is Purim. No matter the score, no matter the sport, we always came together against Purim. We were one town, one student section, and that kind of unity is something that we need as we go on. And last but not least, we care for each other. Now I know that might sound like a bit of a cliche, but it might be one of the most important things we have. We're all compassionate and loyal, and as Mr. Levine once said about his advanced algebra class, when they walked in and demanded everyone got A's, that's the kind of mentality that we have for each other. We're not going to leave each other behind. We don't put others down, and we know that we can only move forward together. And that might be what the world needs the most right now. It needs us, it needs you and I, to go show that we care for our fellow human beings, to show that there's hope, that there's love, and there are good people out there. Now, thinking of how fast these last years have passed makes me bittersweet. I'll remember all the good laughs, the friendships, the good times, and some see you laters. Well, this is our final goodbye. Although hard, these changing times will be a pivotal point in our lives. And this time will not only be important for us as we venture off into the real world, but it's also stemming around the globe. Now, I know change is scary. I know it's full of unknowns and what-ifs. However, it's moments like this that define us. Do you want to be known as a generation who ran from trouble? Or do you want to be known as the ones who decided to turn around and face it? Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. In just a couple minutes, you're going to get a chance to walk across the stage and be recognized today. Before we do that, I have a bunch of people to thank. First of all, your teachers for kind of the way this school year ended and doing all the Google meetings and Zoom meetings with all of you and learning all from scratch for a lot of them. It was a great show in their attitude of trying to make things work in a tough circumstance. I want to thank the District Graduation Committee for helping us get this done today. It's been a long journey to try to figure out how we can pull this off, and I'm glad to see all the red out on the field. This is terrific. Thanks to the Superintendent and School Board for their support in these trying times. Mr. Messer, all of our counseling staff and student services for supporting all of you and helping students get through graduation. A big thank you to Miss Richter, Heather Richter, for all of her extra help in getting this coordinated and pictures and caps and gowns, all of that. Thank you so much, Heather. Yeah, give her a round of applause for sure. For Mr. Nielsen, Rob Nielsen, and Mary Quayback, running the technical aspects of today's videos and the board, to KDLM and Leighton Broadcasting for helping with the streaming today. You'll hear Ms. Burnside in just a minute. She'll be helping with the roll call. All the custodians who had to help set this all up. But finally, and certainly not least, you, the class of 2020, for not giving up, for not complaining, and for having a pretty darn good attitude through all of this COVID stuff. If anything, I think this experience has taught all of us, but you, many of the things that you're going to need to be successful in your life. The first one is having a positive attitude. We all found out the challenge of having a positive attitude when things don't work so well. In particular, you guys have suffered a lot of disappointments, missing out on all the typical things that seniors get to do. Some of you had to go to work to help support your family. There were days when being positive didn't feel so great, and you still did it. Perseverance is another one. We've heard about that today too. Many of you had to push yourselves to get out of bed and do the distance learning, sharing your Wi-Fi with the other 5 people in your family, but you got it done, and you're here today. Danny kind of talked about this too, connections. I think all of us have learned the importance of the connections we have with each other, our teachers, our classmates, your activities, and I think many of you realized how much you really miss school. I know I really enjoyed seeing you on those Monday nights when the football lights were on, as just another way to try to do some normal stuff. And finally, passion. Passion is what keeps you excited and moving forward in spite of the difficulties and the stuff you're going to face. Without it, it's difficult to get online, do another Zoom class or meeting, or keep working out for an upcoming season. So I want to encourage you to take the challenges and obstacles that you've learned over this crazy COVID experience and apply it to your future. You will have unique connections to all the rest of the seniors from the class of 2020. You'll be able to talk about the weird things that happened your senior year, and you'll all share that same bond of what it was like the spring of 2020. As the quote from the billboard out by Walmart said, "A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor." Truer words were never said. This year has challenged your attitude and your perseverance. It has shown you the importance of the connections in your life, and finally that you must have a passion to see it all the way through the end. Congratulations, class of 2020. We are very proud of you and all that you did to make it to today. So now at this point, Mr. Lundin and I, as principals of Detroit Lakes High School and the Alternative Learning Center, and upon recommendation of the faculty, certify that these students have completed the requirements for graduation as established by the state of Minnesota and by the Detroit Lakes School District Board of Education. Ms. Erickson, School Board Chair, and Mr. Froke, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Lundin and I present to you the candidates for graduation for the class of 2020. Now, this is going to be a little goofy just because we haven't practiced this or done this. So we're going to do things a little differently today than we normally have, seniors. You look over here to your left, my right, you see a bunch of cones. That's our social distancing cone setting there. All right, so as your row stands, come up, stand down the stairs, and stand at the cones there, and one at a time your name will be called. We're going to call the names of all the students. So there are some students that aren't here today, so if your name isn't called, just wait at the stair. When your name is called, I'd like you to come right to the center here. There's a blue X. Stand at the blue X, turn and look at the ladies down here that are going to be taking your picture. It's your chance to shine. Go on down. There's a little hand sanitizer down there if you need that. Help yourself to some of that. And we will kind of keep moving through that. When you're done with that, return to your seat, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. All right? At this time, why don't we have Ms. Burnside get ready to do the roll call, and the students in the first row, why don't you stand up and come on over here, and we'll get started. I forgot to say, remember when you get up onto the top of the stairs, you can go ahead and take your mask off.
Tanner Alger. Josie Allen. Ethan Anderson. Jaden Anderson. Matthew Andreessen. Music Anoka. Michelle Von Sonseren, with honors. Garrett Bakken, with honors. Alex Beckman. Macy Belfi, with honors. Reed Benson. Jacob Bergstrom, with honors. Blake Byer. Anton Biederman. Bobby Black. Mason Blaze, with honors. Dylan Blumseth. Emma Borger. Joshua Brommer, with honors. Matthew Branch. Kobe Brockman, with honors. Alex Bren. Cole Bryant, with honors. Addison Buchanan. Alexis Buckanaga Thunder. Hunter Burnside, with honors. Shelby Busker with honors. Annie Campbell with honors. Madison Carr with honors. Pierce Carr. Logan Chapin. Riley Chase with honors. Hunter Cheska. Faith Christensen. Robert Christensen Jr. Anna Seahawk with honors. Maren Daggett with honors. Bailey Daring. Dominic DiNardo. Alejandra Diaz Quezumi. Riven Donovan. McKenna Duncan with honors. Thomas Ekman. Isabella Edball. Alyssa Enert. Ashley Ekren with honors. Desire Ishans. Taylor Ensrud. Lindsay Erickson with honors. Samuel Fagley with honors. Jackson Fields. Sarah Freeman with honors. Grant Gallatin with honors. Lydia Gagg. Trisha Gebhardt with honors. Ava Geffrey. Katie Glander with honors. Gunnar Graffentine. Samantha Gray with honors. Topanga Greenleaf. Joseph Grove. John Gunderson. Max Gunderson with honors. Heather Harstick with honors. Maya Habedank. Spencer Hagan. Gabriel Hannanen with honors. Hope Hansen with honors. Lila Hansen. Brock Harrier with honors. Emily Harstead. Kaida Haugen. Bryant Hazelton. Jonathan Houston with honors. Jackson Haig with honors. Kennedy Haig with honors. Daniel Heikes with honors. Benjamin Highmark with honors. Perry Heinonen III. Chelsea Hellickson Rodewald. Cooper Hermanson. Keith Hill. Adam Holt with honors. Annika Hughes. Inessa Huckredy with honors. Austin Haltine. Tristan Hunter. Cameron Hutchinson. Ronnie Hutchinson. Blake Itzen with honors. Desiree Jacobson. Jessica Jensen with honors. Brianna Johnson with honors. Chelsea Johnson with honors. Noah Johnson with honors. Ryan Johnson Nason. Anna Jones with honors. Emily Kane. Jordan Kane. Eric Kallstrom with honors. Kyle Kesey. Tate Kurzman with honors. Thomas Kettlehut. Elijah Kitzman with honors. Morgan Klein with honors. Hank Komrosky with honors. Sarah Krengle. Tristan Krolik. Dylan Kalzer. Kayla Coons. Hayden Lacker with honors. Ethan Ladwig. Lachey Legou. Noah Lawrence. Derek Lehman. Clayton Lurkey. Gabriel Lepisto. Layla Lee Lester. Malachi Lindsay. Reed Mace. Martin Mai. Abigail Manival. Dylan Manival with honors. Morgan Manival. Andrew Markison. Timothy Martin. Hayden Mastrud with honors. Austin McConkey. Phoenix McDougall. Caleb McKenzie. Thomas McKenzie. Abby Marcel. Emily Meyer. Aaron Milligan with honors. Alyssa Mitchell with honors. Alexander Moe. Dimitri Moe. Christian Moan. Lindsay Moan with honors. Amber Mosier Mayberry. Madison Myrie. Mary Nelmark with honors. Claire Nemick with honors. Gigi Nee with honors. Liliana Nolan. Peyton Norby with honors. Chloe Olmsted. Ezekiel Olson. Lee Omdahl. Juliana Orner. Cameron Puckle with honors. Jocelyn Patnaud. Caden Pepple. Sierra Preet. Cole Pressler. Laura Prussia with honors. Taylor Prussia with honors. Caitlin Purrington. Courtney Rader with honors. Nicholas Reisenauer. Seth Rennie with honors. Jackson Rhodes. Nicholas Ring. Gage Rogers. Aliyah Sanyalieva. Tirza Sandoval. Peyton Schiltz with honors. Wesley Shones. Adam Schuviller. Nicholas Schuviller. Drew Schwan. Lee Carissa Scheffelbein with honors. Zachary Shoemaker with honors. Jordan Skadsum with honors. Emily Swansberg with honors. Brina Smith with honors. Caden Smith with honors. Alexander Soland. Micah Solberg with honors. Gabriel Soyring with honors. Tucker Stahlberger. Toby Stark. Isabella Steffel. Catherine Steffel with honors. Lucy Steinke with hours. Alex Storsved with honors. Desi Swanson. Keith Swanson. Nicole Swanson with honors. Jonna Sweers. Caleb Tangen with honors. Ben Turlo. Isaiah Thompson. Emily Tibbetts. Molly Tingham with honors. Emmy Trowrig with honors. Gracelyn Trowrig with honors. Rhiannon Triggs. with honors. Taylor Tucker with honors. Cassidy Teig. Alexis Van Maldingham with honors. Grace Van Offlin with honors. Grayson Van Steenwick. Lacey Vogel. Joshua Voss. Andrea Wahlberg. Connor Walsh. Avery Waltz with honors. Blake Weber with honors. Jordan Wheats with honors. Brianna Wilkins. Chloe Will with honors. Tyler Wirtz. Ethan Whithoft. Dominic Waski. McKenna Yelenemi with honors. Jasmine Yunker. Jonathan Zimma.
All right, you still got your hat on. You can turn your tassel to the other side. That's the almost last thing you do before you get to be recognized as a graduate. Real quick before we finish here, I want to make sure that we're really close to, we're over time, but that's okay. So as soon as we're done here, the parade's going to start, so head back out to your car so you can be part of the parade. And now, may I introduce to you the graduates of the class of 2020! And now there should be some music. 3, 2, 1.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something